She's not asking you to be perfect. She's asking if you're solid, if your words mean something, if you're as secure in yourself as you pretend to be. You think she's just being emotional, difficult, crazy, but what you're really looking at is a test. Not a test with a grade, a test with consequences. And the thing most men never figure out until it's too late is this: she doesn't test the man she's done with. She tests the man she still hopes is worth following. And if you fail it, not by getting an answer wrong, but by showing you don't even understand the game, then her instincts take over. And brother, once that survival instinct kicks in, you can forget about logic, forget about feelings, forget about love. She'll leave, and you'll still be standing there holding the pieces. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to pass every one of her tests without losing your frame, your power, or your self-respect. It starts like this. She accuses you of something small, something ridiculous. She says, "Why didn't you text me back last night?" But it's not the text. She's really saying, "Are you still strong enough to carry this dynamic?" She's scanning for weakness like a heat-seeking missile. And you, if you're like most men, will either buckle and beg or explode and blame. You'll grovel for forgiveness like you're in trouble with a teacher. But either way, you lose. You hand her your frame, you show her her emotions now control you, you signal, "I will abandon my composure to win your approval." But inside, she just watched you fall. She just saw the man she wanted to trust dissolve under pressure. And she files that away quietly, like a queen watching a knight drop his sword. What you don't realize is that she's begging you to show her strength, not by dominating her, not by punishing her, but by holding your damn line, standing calmly in the middle of the storm. When she throws a test at you, says something cold, acts distant, gets a little disrespectful, your job isn't to collapse or correct. Your job is to remain unmoved. Not out of spite, not out of ego, but out of certainty. Because you know who you are, you know your path. You don't let chaos rewrite your code. Let me tell you what happens when you pass that test. When you respond with strength, not control. When you don't flinch, don't beg, don't blame. You look her in the eye and say something like, "I don't chase confusion. If you want to talk straight, I'm here. If not, I'll get back to my focus." And you actually mean it. You go back to your purpose. You walk away with calm indifference, not fake bravado. That's when she sees it. That's when the test shifts. Her body language changes. Her eyes soften. Because she just got her answer. You're not a boy reacting. You're a man responding. You didn't lose your head, you led. Now she knows you're not just strong when things are sweet. You're strong when they're messy. And that, more than gifts or looks or words, is what bonds her to you. That's what builds desire deeper than attraction. Because she can relax into your presence, she can rest, knowing you can hold the weight. But if she senses you're easily shaken, that she can rattle your energy with a pout or a jab or some mind game, it's over. Not because she hates you, but because now she has to protect herself. I still remember watching this happen in real time. One of my boys, great guy, loyal, smart, was dating this fiery girl. She was testing him constantly, not because she was toxic, but because she didn't feel safe yet. She needed to know he wasn't made of glass, but he kept over-explaining, kept apologizing when nothing was wrong, kept folding just to keep her calm. And I watched her go from turned on to tuned out. One night, she said something small, something like, "You don't really get me." And instead of standing still and asking her what she meant with confidence, he panicked. He blew up. He tried to justify everything all at once, his time, his texts, his tone, and it was like watching a dam break. That was the last test she gave him. After that, she started flirting with other guys. started withholding affection, not out of cruelty, out of instinct. Because her subconscious had already decided, he can't hold the line. You think she wants someone who will always agree with her? You think passing her tests means always making her happy? No. She's not testing for niceness, she's testing for spine. And if she ever tells you don't care, she doesn't mean affection. She means strength. She means certainty. She means, I'm scared right now and I want to see if you can hold this fire without burning. So when she gives you that test, raises her voice, gets moody, makes some emotional accusation out of nowhere, you better stop thinking it's about the content and start listening for the subtext. She's saying, are you really who you claim to be? Can I still trust your masculine leadership? Or are you just another guy acting strong until life tests you? And here's the kicker. She may not even know she's doing it. Most of this is unconscious, biological, a deep evolutionary scan for reliability under pressure. So don't take it personally. Don't try to fight it, just pass the damn test. Hold your eye contact, breathe slower, lower your voice, say less, and don't explain yourself to death. Either you're grounded or you're not. And trust me, she'll know. You ever notice how women remember the tone of what you said more than the actual words? That's not an accident. That's how they're wired. They don't analyze the logic of your explanation. They feel the integrity behind it. They listen for certainty in your delivery. You could say all the right things, but if your voice is shaky, your body tense, your eyes darting for approval, she'll clock it. She'll smell the weakness underneath your words. And no amount of sweet talking will undo that. But when you speak with that grounded calm, when your tone says, I don't need you to understand me, I am who I am, suddenly she leans in. The test ends. Her body softens. Why? Because her nervous system just received the signal it was craving. Safety, not comfort. Leadership. You see, women aren't trying to dominate you with these little storms. They're trying to feel whether you're worth surrendering to. And surrender only happens in the presence of strength. The tragic part is most men only discover this after they've lost her. They look back at every argument, every outburst, every cold shoulder, thinking she was just emotional. Nah. She was reaching for a man who wouldn't fold, who wouldn't mirror her chaos but contain it. Not control it, contain it. Like a stone wall against the wind, unshaken, present, clear. Now let me break something to you that might sting. If she's never tested you, she's never respected you. Think about that. If she never challenged your energy, never pushed to see if you'd hold your ground, she was never truly invested. Because the test only comes when something's at stake. She tests the man she's considering giving herself to, the man she wants to trust. She doesn't test the guy she already wrote off. So next time you feel that tension, that little emotional grenade she throws your way, stop taking it personally. Start recognizing it for what it is. A divine invitation to level up. A chance to prove, not to her, but to yourself, that you're no longer reactive. You're responsive, you're composed, you're the calm in the chaos. And if you can show her that without performing, without being robotic or aloof, but from a place of genuine grounded presence, game over. She'll follow you anywhere. Here's what that actually looks like in the moment. She gets upset, starts accusing you. Maybe it's wild, maybe it's not even true, doesn't matter. Your old self would panic. You'd scramble to defend yourself, plead your case, raise your voice just to feel like you still have control. But now you pause, you don't rush to respond, you watch, you let her finish, you feel the tension without matching it. And when you finally speak, you don't justify, you clarify with certainty. You say, I hear you, but I don't engage through chaos, we talk when we're grounded. And then you walk away. Not as a threat, not as a tantrum, as a boundary. You don't run, you lead, you set the emotional frame. And if she wants to come back in and meet you in that frame, cool. If not, You were never meant to carry her energy in the first place. Because here's the truth you have to tattoo onto your brain. If you fail the test, you don't lose her instantly. You lose her slowly, quietly. She might still be there physically, still texting, still sleeping next to you. But inside, she's already packing, she's already stepping back, and when she finally leaves, it'll seem out of nowhere. But it wasn't. She just got tired of waiting for you to show her a man she could actually trust. So how do you make sure you don't fail the next one? You master your self-regulation. You stop giving your power away every time her emotions spike. You stop trying to make everything nice. You let the discomfort breathe. You realize that feminine emotion is not a threat, it's a signal. And if you can remain calm in the face of that wave, if you can welcome it without absorbing it, you become the lighthouse in her storm, not the ship that capsizes every time the tide turns. You'll feel the shift when it happens. The energy will change. Her tests will stop coming as often, not because she gave up, but because she got her answer. You're not playing games. You're not pretending. You are the thing she was searching for, a man rooted in his mission, not her moods. You want to know what the rarest masculine trait is today? Unshakable composure. Not fake detachment, not forced alpha nonsense, just stillness. You walk into the fire and don't flinch. You let the chaos rage around you without losing yourself. And in doing that, you become the gravity she orbits. But if you crumble every time she questions your tone, or withdraws her affection, or tests your edge, you're not leading. You're following her emotional wind like a leaf in a storm. So train for it, every day, not with women, with life. Start regulating your breath under pressure. Start choosing stillness when your ego wants reaction. Start holding silence when your mind wants to argue. Because the man who can do that in conflict, he's already won. Not because she obeys, but because she chooses him. Not just in good times, in the storm. And make no mistake, the storm will come. You've probably heard that phrase, she wants a man, not a boy. But most guys twist that into some childish macho act. Chest out, voice raised, arms crossed like they're auditioning for a second-rate gangster movie. That's not masculine. That's a performance. That's insecurity dressed up as dominance. And she knows it. She feels it before you even speak, because true masculinity isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't puff up to look big. It's anchored, quiet, sharp, present. And when she tests you, that's what she's looking for. Not power over her, but power over yourself. Because if you can't govern your own emotions, how the hell are you supposed to lead hers? You're out here trying to win arguments, when what she's begging for is your center. The unshakable core she can press against without it crumbling. You ever seen a woman push hard against a man and then melt when he doesn't push back, doesn't react, just holds his ground with that still, calm authority? That's not about winning. That's about safety. That's the test. Are you emotionally stronger than me? Not because she wants to lose to you, but because she wants to finally stop fighting. To surrender into something stronger than her own chaos. But you can't fake that strength. You have to become it. And becoming it means this. When she screams, you stay grounded. When she withdraws, you don't chase. When she accuses you of not caring, you don't collapse trying to prove that you do. You stay calm. You stay honest. You speak your truth without trembling. And that stillness, man, that's the magic. That's what rewires her whole nervous system. Because most men fold, they explain themselves into oblivion, they beg for reassurance. They try to logic their way into being respected. But logic doesn't lead. Logic supports, presence leads, and presence is built in the fire when your heart's racing. When your jaw wants to clench, when your pride wants to fight back, and you don't. You breathe, you stand tall, and you watch her storm without letting it drown you. That's when she feels it, that primal ancient shift. She's no longer the dominant energy. You didn't take control, you just refused to be moved. And in that stillness, she feels the masculine core she forgot existed. She doesn't always say it, but her body responds. Her eyes soften. Her tone lowers. The storm breaks, because she just found what every feminine soul is unconsciously searching for. A man who doesn't break when tested. Here's where most guys fail, though. They take this knowledge and try to use it on her, like a manipulation tactic, like a script. They start rehearsing calm instead of embodying it. And women feel that too. You're not grounded, you're acting. You're not calm, you're waiting for her to react a certain way. That's control, that's not masculine, that's needy. True groundedness has no agenda. It's not trying to get her back. It's not trying to make her respect you. It's not even trying to pass the test. It's just who you are. Whether she stays or leaves, whether she approves or not, whether she breaks down or walks away, you stay planted in your truth. And that's what flips the game. That's what makes her chase you. Because when you stop needing to pass the test, you pass it. When you stop needing her to see your value, she sees it. When you stop reacting and start embodying, everything changes. You go from being another guy she has to manage emotionally to a man she can trust. Not with her logic, with her instincts. Let me be brutal for a second. If she's testing you constantly, it's probably because you failed her early. Somewhere along the way, you showed her you couldn't be trusted to stay grounded. Maybe you got defensive. Maybe you broke down. Maybe you made her your emotional center. And now she doesn't feel safe, so she keeps jabbing, poking, trying to see if the man she hoped you were is still somewhere inside. You can win her back, but not by convincing her, by changing yourself, not for her, for you. Because if you don't, the same pattern will follow you to the next woman. The next argument, the next test, you'll keep reacting, keep chasing, keep losing respect. So do the work, every day. Build that masculine nervous system that doesn't flinch. Train your body to slow down under pressure. Train your voice to drop when you feel anger rising. Train your presence to stay still when your ego wants to scream, because once you master that, you're untouchable. Not just with women, with life. And here's what's beautiful about that shift. Once you become that man, once you stop trying to pass her tests and simply be unshakable, she stops testing you. She doesn't need to anymore. She feels it. Every time you hold your frame in the face of her fire, she drops a little deeper into her feminine. Not because you forced her, because she trusts you. And when a woman trusts you like that, everything changes. The drama fades, the games stop. The softness returns, because now she can be fully expressed, emotional, passionate, wild, and know you won't fold, you won't run, you won't attack, you'll lead. And that's the win. Not control, not dominance, leadership through stillness. So next time she tests you, don't panic, don't argue, don't shrink. Smile. Not with arrogance, with understanding. She's handing you the opportunity to prove your presence, to show, not say, that you're him, the man she can lose herself in. Because no matter how hard she pushes, no matter how chaotic she becomes, you do not break.